We read the announcement, we saw the trailer, and now I find myself asking, what do I actually want to see in this game? Today I want to talk about the features I'd like to see in the upcoming Mafia Definitive Edition, and in the future talk about the expanded storyline plots I hope to see explored too. But in this video we'll start with the features first. And bear in mind, a lot of these are quite obvious, a lot of them are in Mafia 2 and 3, so they're almost certain to end up in this game as well. But nonetheless, I'll include them here and try and talk about how they could work specifically and the benefits of them as well in this game. So let's crack on, shall we? Bigger map. Modern game worlds have become much bigger in the last near 2 decades since the original Mafia was released. We've read that the map will be expanded, but what would it look like? And how big will it be? I scoured the internet and came up with this list which shows the size of game worlds to try and compare and guess where Mafia Definitive Edition will fit in. Pause here if you need to. As you can see, the original Mafia map size fares pretty well, to be honest, and I was surprised. Where do you see the new expanded map fit in here with this list? I couldn't find the sizes of 2 and 3's maps, but it is interesting to think, are they at all limited in not making the new map too big so they don't end up undermining the size of Mafia 2 and Mafia 3's worlds? Who knows, but definitely expect a bigger world to explore than we had back in 2002. Weather. This is a kind of quick one because obviously we're expecting this to be greatly overhauled. Tommy's story with the Mafia that we know of from the original spans 8 years. So this would be the perfect opportunity for the game to showcase all of the different seasons and see lots of different weather types. We could see missions vastly improve, like torrential rain and thunderstorms in the mission A Trip to the Country. Or we could even see snow in the expanded storyline, like we see here in Mafia 2. Weather, if done right, can play a huge part to the atmosphere and mood of the overall game. Money. With the near certain addition of shops, we're going to need money to be able to buy anything. So I'm expecting we'll earn money from story missions and maybe see side missions and activities where money can be earned on the side. With the addition of money comes a whole load of possibilities for earning and spending it. Car radios. Car radios hit the market in 1920s America, but it wasn't until Galvin Manufacturing Company, now known as Motorola, introduced the Motorola 5T71 radio that commercial car radios really became popular. They were, however, expensive until the late 1930s, whereby then they were considered standard in every vehicle. So at some point in the game's timeline, I expect car radios to appear, maybe even near the beginning, but maybe only being available in the more high-end cars to start with. This would be cool if they appeared quite early on in the game, but maybe not right at the beginning, just so it'd feel like we were seeing the world evolve in front of us. Side missions. In the original, there are a few side missions with Luca Bertoni where we steal various cars. I'd expect stealing cars to return, which we may even be able to sell now and earn money. Races will no doubt return as well, and I'm expecting it to be expanded somewhat, obviously improved handling and cash rewards for winning races and tournaments. We could also see gambling, extortion and other types of racketeering missions to earn us money and give us more of a sense of freedom in the game which was previously lacking. We never have any money in the original, as there's nothing to buy. We're given everything we need. But with the almost certain addition of clothing shops, we're going to need sources of income. We'll probably make money from missions as well, or possibly generate revenue from things we own, or from protection money, etc. Could we rob banks? Yeah, that was probably more of a one-time thing. Could we even see the taking control of territories or gang locations? And expand the Salieri family as the rivalry with the Morello family heats up as the game progresses, putting more and more pressure on them until we can finally take Morello down. And on these said missions, we could recruit people to go with us for a better chance of success. Activities. I'd like to see player activities also, like Tommy, Paulie and Sam having a drink in Salieri's bar, or going out to a bar or club. I don't think the prohibition applies to the Mafia. Playing pool or even going to a football game, as there is a stadium in Lost Heaven. It is often said that they're friends, but this isn't actually explored in the game. It's just something we're told but never really shown, so we felt like we're left with no real connection to them. Could we take Sarah out on dates? Like to the theatre or a restaurant? Other activities like playing tennis, golf, a boat ride? Collectibles. A feature in the other two games, so will no doubt feature in this one too. We can only imagine what we could be collecting, maybe cigarette cards, pocket watches, movie posters. Won't be Playboy though, as that didn't start till 1953. Giving anything extra to do is always good, especially if there's a big achievement at the end of it all. Vehicle customization. We know Luca has his own garage, but don't forget about Ralphie, he's also handy with cars. What other features will these two be able to do? Could we possibly buy cars from Luca and modify or customize them? And could Ralphie change the locks or plates of stolen cars and maintain or even customize the ones we already own? Player customization. Aside from the various different outfits we'll be able to wear, such as these, the Chicago outfit, which is a pre-order bonus, and the Black Cats outfit, which you'll receive if you create a 2K account. Going one step further than clothing, could we see a barber shop where we could change Tommy's hairstyle or even have a shave? Growing a beard definitely wouldn't fit in with the Mafia's tradition at the time, or maybe it's still up to us to take care of Tommy and keep him looking his best. However, barbershops were cut from Mafia 2 and they weren't in the definitive edition, and they didn't feature in Mafia 3 either. Would they add something into this remake that isn't in 2 and 3? It's pretty doubtful. Worth noting though, in Mafia 3, Lincoln's appearance does change as the game progresses, so at the very least the same could happen with Tommy. And this screenshot with what looks like Sarah, you can see his hair is a little bit messed up, so at the very least we'll see some slight changes to characters. Player mechanics. The remake will feature a much newer and hopefully better combat system, especially the ability to get into cover, and the addition of sprinting and even swimming will likely be added. They're definitely needed to bring the game up to date to compete with all the newer games of this genre. Weapons. We've seen a screenshot of what looks like it's Vincenzo's room, with weapons on the table. Will we see any more that aren't shown here? Could we maybe buy different weapons altogether from other places such as gun shops, or simply find them as we play? This workbench is in Vincenzo's room. Could this be where we upgrade or even modify weapons? Safehouses. We see Tommy in the beginning in his apartment, but this is the only time. Where does he live? Will we be able to see his apartment and walk round it? Change our clothes and save our game here? Tommy has a house in Freeride Extreme in Oakwood, but I'm not sure if this is canon. Will we be able to buy new and better places as we progress through and make more money? Could we call friends over such as Paulie and Sam for a drink and a game of cards? These are things I'd love to see. Vehicle handling. This one's obvious, and driving has been overhauled. CEO of Hangar 13, Hayden Blackman, spoke at the PC Gaming Show and went into a bit of detail about the driving element and implied that they've taken a bit of time on maximising the driving experience in the game. As he says, most of the travelling is done by driving, so it needs to be good and enjoyable. Well, let's hope it's both of those things. Modes of transport. In the original, we can obviously drive, take a train and the tram. But could we also be able to use more methods, such as flying planes or driving boats to go along with the already confirmed motorbikes? Attention to detail. And this pretty much wraps it all up. This one is a worry given how Mafia 3 was. You couldn't shoot and break environments or car glass. Reflections were terrible. However, Mafia 2 was pretty great for its time, and that was made by 2K Czech, and Hangar 13 did Mafia 3. The same team making Mafia Definitive Edition. So I'd be lying if I said I wasn't slightly concerned. I really hope that Hangar 13 have put years of work into this and have learned from their mistakes with number 3 and have gone the extra mile on this beloved original. Also worth noting that gameplay was set to be shown at IGN's Summer of Gaming but was pulled for some reason. Another worry, with the game being out in around 2 months, there should be gameplay by now, which is another cause for concern. Either that or they just wanted to save it a little bit longer. So those are the things I'd like to see in Mafia Definitive Edition. Let me know what you'd like to see, expand on anything I said, or let me know what I missed in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going. I'll be back with another video talking about the things I'd like to see in the expanded storyline. So until then, take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.